This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, here we are. We're going to call Jessica Mendoza from the great class of 2002. She played softball for the Cardinal, set a number of records, and went on to win a gold medal in the 2004 Olympics with the United States, and then a silver medal in 2008. Jessica works for ESPN. She was their first full-time female Major League Baseball analyst, and recently she's taken on a new position that expands her role even more. I can't wait to talk to Jessica about what a sports broadcaster does when there are no sports, and also get some tips on staying in shape in a confined space.
So this whole career that you have, was this part of your grand plan, or did this just happen?
Freshman year at Stanford, sitting in Wilbur, Cedro, Seahouse, I wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon. Once I started to dive into it, I realized that, especially the first 2 years, because it's not fun. So you have to really want it. Ended up switching to American Studies just because I was interdisciplinary, was kind of like me in a nutshell. Got my master's in social sciences and education because I became very passionate about wanting to work on educational reform. My plan was to move to DC, get into politics, and really just kind of blow up the education system. Even though I was playing and trying out for the national team, I just figured, I could get cut any day. And the last thing I want to do is be like, oh, what now? So it was kind of opposite. I had this whole plan for my career. And then I made the Olympic team. And I kept thinking, I remember I had this internship in DC. I just kept calling them saying, I'm coming. Don't worry, I could get cut next year. So just please keep this. And they did for a few years. And then 12 years, I was on the national team, 2 Olympics. And along the way came an interview that I did for ESPN on the athlete side after we played China. And the producer approached me afterwards and was like, you have so much energy. You talk about this game with passion. Have you ever thought about getting involved in television? And I just started laughing because I'm like, oh my gosh, no background in this. 1, 2, no filter. I'd get fired first day. Who knows what would come out of my mouth? There's no way. And then I ended up kind of talking to some friends, and they were like, Jess, go audition. What are you preaching? You always tell young girls all the time to go for it. So try. And I did. I auditioned and got the job as a softball analyst. And that was, 13 years ago. So
Wow.
Still that internship, I haven't made it to DC yet.
You're probably still on the list. They're like, maybe it'll happen. What does a sports analyst do? What does a broadcaster do when there are no sports?
Since I primarily cover Major League Baseball and college softball, it's interesting to really dive into just more of what people are doing, and just kind of their life has slowed down. They're willing to share a lot more. Normally, especially Major League Baseball, 162 games, it's they get annoyed with having to just talk about the same thing. This is why I'm struggling with hitting, or I can't throw this pitch, or, it's kind of the same sort of storylines of just competition. And now it's silly things like them on TikTok doing funny dances and getting to know their personalities. And I know for softball, it's been really fun because we've been doing a podcast, 7 Innings podcast. It's been awesome where we go back and we're literally ranking the greatest slugger of all time, and I mean, obviously this is my sport. So this is but I've now been in contact with teammates that I haven't heard from in 10, 15 years, athletes I'm researching from the 70s and 80s. And we get a chance to kind of look back. And I'm telling you, for women's sports, we don't get the Babe Ruth stories all the time. We don't get a lot of opportunity to tell our stories. And now we are.
Okay. So you've been to the Olympics twice. You did reasonably well. And when you heard that it was postponed, as an athlete, how do you feel for the people who would have gone this summer?
I think the word postponement was a good word versus canceled. I mean, I think there was this talk for a beat where it was the Olympic Games could get actually just canceled, which I don't think any of us really believed, because to not have an Olympics when there was no war because those are the only 2 cancellations that ever happened was World War I and World War II. And I know as an athlete, when your routine is thrown off, and we're talking about once every 4-year routine, at that point, I think most athletes were please postpone this. So I was actually glad it was postponed, just so the athletes can feel like they have the right amount of preparation to go to the biggest event that they'll ever see in their lifetime.
Are there any parts of your either your job or just kind of your industry that you think will change permanently after this pandemic?
Major League Baseball is talking about they could possibly be the first sport back.
Okay.
Because it's an outdoor sport. I think there's a little bit of maybe, social distancing within the game itself. There would be no fans. Television could cover it, but they wouldn't be there live. So I've talked with my bosses about how we would cover it. Would I do it like this from home? Like literally having, a screen behind me and calling a baseball game from Oregon, a game that's in Arizona. I think from the fan side of things, I don't see us having in any sport where we have the 40,000 people all together. So I think the fan experience has to change, which to be honest, kind of excites me because I feel like for the major sports that have gotten away with making money on just ticket sales, now there's a force, especially I put baseball, I call them out even more, of engaging fans in a way that could be super creative and honestly make the sport more exciting to watch. So I like ideas about miking up players where there can be an engagement of, and we did this in spring training with Anthony Rizzo and Chris Bryant at the Cubs, where myself and Boog Shambi in the booth were talking to them while they were up to bat, and they were answering, I think a fastball is going to come, and we were going back and forth. They were singing karaoke in the dugout. We're just like, oh man, that's rough. And just to be able to have some of that, because there's so many great personalities in sport, but it's got to be so serious, and we have to win all the time.
And you also have been doing some kind of activities or exercise, I've seen on social media at least, or just kind of ways to stay in shape at home, which I wondered how you've been affected by that. You're, obviously a lifelong athlete, and I rummaged through our garage stuff and I was like, we have nothing. I can't even try to do.
No, I'm telling you, pick up containers of flour. I could go on and on about different ways of training, and I'm not like a professional lifter, weight trainer, or anything, but having done this my entire life, and this is just part for me getting my endorphins going. Like I feel so good when I get my blood flowing, especially, being at home with the kids. It's like, what are different ways that I can really just get my heart pumping?
What are some of the things? Give us some ideas. What are you doing?
One of the best things I think is to actually just get on your wood floor, your tile floor, like whatever your flooring is that's not carpet. And even if you have carpet, you can even get like a paper plate. Otherwise you get like a towel or even your socks. You can stand up and basically just do like a one-legged lunge where you're standing and you have that towel that's underneath your foot, and you go back all the way into a lunge and come back up. And I'm telling you, it's even harder than if you were to have your weights in your hand, because you're working on so much of your core and the rest of your body to stay stable while a foot is now like slipping back behind you. The deceleration, the acceleration of coming back and forth. There's like a million exercises you can do just with slippery socks. So mountain climbers who are like on all fours and your back feet are just like motoring. If you have kids, they can totally just put on their socks and have them doing different things. And of course they're slipping all over the place and being silly, but as long as it's fun, then keep doing it. If you want to do something as simple as a bicep curl or triceps, you can get anything over your head, and just being able to do this. I know for a lot of women, they're always working on like their underarms, like trying to get that strength, I used to grab like the lamp in the hotel.
I will have Olympic arms in mere minutes.
I try to find what's the heaviest thing in this room that I can like hold and do different lifting. And then I would do like my crunches with the lamp. I would get the like rolling chair and put my feet up and do like a hamstring curl. So you just like roll it out and back. Hamstring curl harder. It's a lot harder than this.
Definitely not use that in the video.
If it gets where it feels like I'm doing this because I want to lose a certain amount of weight, or I have to, stay fit or have that body, I always feel like those are the wrong reasons.
I'm working out mostly so that I can fit back out the door when this is all over. So you were like uphill trajectory, and then everything has just come to a stop.
Obviously no one was expecting this, and it is crazy because my whole family, we were all going to be in Tokyo this summer, with the Olympic Games. I think what has been the biggest difference is how much life has slowed down. I do a lot of travel for work, and sometimes that includes my family. They come with me a lot. That's why I actually homeschooled for quite some time so that we could travel as a family. But when you're in it, you don't really realize how crazy it is. I went on a walk yesterday for an hour and just was like taking things in. I feel like I was 10 years old the last time I was able to just kind of explore. It's going to be hard to ever resume for me, the fast paced life that I had, and feel like that is ever normal again. Now that we've had this chance to slow things down and really appreciate the little things.
And you live in a great area to be outdoors. Are you in Bend, Oregon?
Yeah. And we just moved here actually less than a year ago, and from Southern California, which I'm Cali girl all the way, but I cannot be more grateful. And we live on, some property. We've got a river running through the back. I've got 2 boys that are 10 and 6 years old. And I can't tell you how much time we're spending climbing trees, and I'm trying to build myself. I have no background in this, but build a zip line. We don't do well being inside, the homeschool and just the pent up energy. But all of a sudden you get out in the sun and you have just, whether it's throwing a rock in the water or grabbing a stick, and now it's a wizard, sword, or, the imagination just allows us all to enjoy it.
Are you missing being able to see games?
I miss championships. I honestly like to live a diverse life. I feel like that's why I went to Stanford, is, to be honest, the softball program at Stanford when I was getting recruited was not very good. And the reason I wanted to go there is because I wanted to be more than an athlete. I follow different sports, but what I get excited about is more of just I like seeing emotion. So yeah. I love seeing championships. But no, I don't, to be perfectly honest, I'm good. So it's been kind of nice feeling like I'm a regular human being, and just been listening to different podcasts. Julie Foudy, who's a Stanford alum, she's got one that's awesome, Laughter Permitted, which is really good. Mona Shelburne, who's a communications major at Stanford. She works for ESPN now, but she has an amazing podcast she did, which is a 30 for 30, and it was on the Don Sterling affair.
Oh.
It's awesome.
So we actually have a lot in common. We're both from big families. We both work in journalism fields. We've both homeschooled our kids on purpose, not because we were forced to in lockdown.
Good note.
There's
Which means we're a little crazy.
Right. So we're already both a little nuts. We're so similar, except for the whole Olympic medal thing. Do you leverage your medals with the kids? Because I'm just thinking, if I had Olympic medals, I would wear them all the time, first of all. And if any kid whined at me, my response to everything would be, because I'm an Olympic gold medalist and I told you to. So where are your medals? Why are you not wearing them?
Yeah, I wear them all the time, and I throw them in their face every time. I'm like, your mom's a gold medalist. Eat your breakfast. No. They don't really know any different. I mean, they know I was an Olympian, and I don't know, even what I do as a job.
Right.
They think that that's kind of what everyone does. You think I'd have a little bit of mom says, do your homework, the gold medalist over here,
right.
no clout, nothing. They're just I'm just mom, which is awesome, to be honest.
I hope that you're not an awesome baker or something, because I'll give you some advice. If you are, try to screw up a little bit when you bring in the plain cupcakes, because the other moms are all getting Billy's mom has a gold medal, and they're I can't.
I have lots of imperfections. I have a long list. When I am on the road and traveling, everyone always asks, how do you balance it all? I work with all men, and they always laugh because they're I've never gotten asked that question. And I'm
yeah.
What's bad about the question, as much as it annoys you, it also it hurts a little bit. Because I still carry that insecurity and guilt of I'd love to be PTA mom, at every event, but that's not realistic. And I definitely wouldn't trade what I get to do.
There's a ton of pressure on women. I will let you know though that the PTA is not that awesome, so don't worry about that. I should let you go. Thank you very much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
It was a nice chat.
Well, it's nice to have a one-on-one conversation with another adult right now.
Yes, exactly.